I'm Idiotech, and today I'm not going to review Magicka 2. For those of you who don't know what Magicka is, basically it's this silly, humorous game that came out 4 years ago, and there was a lot of people playing it on YouTube. You've probably seen it, but if you haven't, basically the unique mechanic was that you could play with your friends, you could kill your friends and steal their loot and stuff, and that was kind of funny, but the core mechanic was that you could mix and match different elements of magic to create like unique combos and spells and stuff like that. And it was cool, although I did find the controls kind of a pain in the ass. They were very sort of not well designed in my opinion. You kind of got used to them after a while, but it wasn't great. So now we have Magicka 2, which should improve upon all of that, right? Oh, also the netcode didn't work at all in the first game, and people couldn't play online for like a significant period of time. So with Magicka 2, you'd expect better graphics, better sound, better production values, better game design, you know, more innovative gameplay modes, innovative gameplay mechanics, you know, enhancing that system that was there in the previous game 4 years ago. Well, you would be wrong because you don't get any of that. So the game has a lot of technical issues. Yeah, which it shouldn't, because they made a game 4 years ago that was full of technical issues, and it still is full of technical issues, to the point where I can't log into Paradox's servers, which means I can't go online, which means I can't play with other human beings in a co-op game. I mean, seriously, the same thing happened 4 years ago, guys, and I don't even know if this is Paradox's fault or the developer's fault, but the QA on Paradox titles is a joke, honestly. They said like a year ago they were going to fix this shit and stop like releasing games that didn't work on day one, and it doesn't work. I can't log in and play online with my friends. So if you can, good for you, but I can't log in. Every time I try and log in, it just says cannot connect to server, and I just sit there. So that's fun. So I can't play the co-op element of a co-op game, just like I couldn't 4 years ago. So that's good. And then other people are reporting performance issues on lower end systems. So I'm running a 290 and a 4970K. I'm not having that many problems. I had a few frame drops, nothing serious. But people on laptops, people on lower end PCs are reporting performance issues and optimization issues. So that's something to be aware of. So this is the one area of the game that has actually improved, and if you don't believe me, look at the screen right now, because I'll probably be comparing both of the games, the original game and the new game. The new game does look better, and for people saying it doesn't, you don't have eyes, apparently. It's a lot better, a lot better texture resolution, the models, the detail, the resolution of the models, all that stuff's way better. The spell effects look nicer, everything looks nicer. It's visually improved significantly from the previous game. Now, the art style is kind of simplistic and cartoony in a way, and so it's maybe a little bit difficult to recognize some of those things, but if you look at the details, it is much higher resolution, and it has a more painterly feel. I think it looks nice, honestly. I think it's the only part of the game that's good. It looks better, you know? So if making a brand new game just to make it look slightly better was worth 4 years of your life, then cool. Yeah, graphics and art style, they're good. So, the sound in this game isn't as good as the original game, in my opinion. I thought the music in the original game was better. I played it this morning. I enjoyed the music in it. It stuck in my head. It was more memorable. The music in this is generic fantasy fare, bunch of flutes, not very interesting. In terms of the sound design, I think it's just the same sounds from the original game, honestly. They sound the same to me. So, not really much to talk about there either. So, this is the core fundamental issue here. I mean, aside from the fact that they basically remade the same game, the game design is worse than the original game. Spells have been removed, combinations have been removed, the control system is awful. Like, initially I thought, oh, this is cool, I've got a bit more flexibility and control with my character, but as I started to play, I realized, no, this sucks, because I'll slide all over the place. Because basically, the way the original game worked was, you would click, and you would move, right? So you'd hold the right mouse button down, and you would move, for example. Or the left mouse button, I can't remember what it was. Anyway, it doesn't matter, you hold the mouse button down, and you move. And when you stop holding it down, you stop moving. In this game, you sort of click. It's more like a Diablo type system. And so you'll click and then you'll forget while you're fighting, and then you just start sliding around all over the place. And because there are so many more enemies in this game, I don't know why there are so many enemies, but there are so many more enemies. And so you'll just get mobbed by like 20 guys. And if you're playing on your own, which I did because I couldn't play online, it's frustrating. I mean, you just keep running into like 20 guys and just getting hammered. You know, you can get through it, but you have to repeat it over and over and over. And it's just not fun. I mean, there's like loads of guys just piling on you. The spells have either been nerfed, like the heal spell's ridiculous. ridiculously underpowered. In the original game, you'd heal yourself maybe twice. Do like 2 self-heals and you'd be back up to full. In this game, you have to heal yourself, just spam heal yourself for like 10 seconds to get back up to full. That's awful. You can walk through shields, which is stupid and defeats the purpose of shields. They've nerfed a number of spells. You can't do lightning beams anymore. That's stupid. I mean, it's like they took the original game mechanics and were just like, let's just take stuff away from it and call it Magicka 2. I don't understand how that works. The control scheme apparently is from Magicka Wizard Wars, which I had no interest in playing whatsoever. And it just feels like an underwhelming rehash of the same mechanics, where they've taken stuff away. There is no innovation here. The system originally, when it came out 4 years ago, was very innovative. It was a gimmick, sure, but it was innovative. Like, it was an interesting thing. People hadn't seen it before. It hadn't been done before. Combining spells, you know, working out combos, discovering things, you know, playing with your friends in a co-op game where you could kill each other. That was funny, right? It was a unique experience 4 years ago. This is the same experience with less mechanics, worse controls, and a co-op mode that doesn't work. It's $15. You can buy the original game, 4 copies of the original game, to play with your friends for $25. It's a worse version of the original game, and you can buy 4 copies of the original game for an extra $10. So, as you can probably tell, I'm quite pissed off. Honestly, I prefer I hadn't spent $15 on this game. I wasn't a huge fan of the original Magicka series, to be honest. I thought it was a bit of a laugh. You know, it had some humor that was sort of funny at the time. It's not funny anymore. It's been 5 years. The same stuff over and over again is not funny anymore, guys. You're trying too hard to be funny. It's not funny. The game design is poor. The controls are poor. It's a rehash of the same experience, again, with better graphics. It's not worth it. Avoid at all costs. Buy the original game, you know. Oh, and the netcode doesn't work. So, I mean, if you want co-op, I mean, apparently some people are playing online because they're not complaining about it. I can't, so, you know. I mean, look, this is a rant. This isn't a real review, okay? Like, I could not bear to play this game anymore. So, and it just made me angry, right? It made me angry. And I don't want to be angry while I'm playing a video game. I had a shit time. It's nowhere near as good as the first game. It costs too much money. And the gimmick is old. It's 5 years old. There's no reason for this game to exist. Do not buy this game.